big robots, mad scientists, alien creatures, big acid pits, a brooding, confused hero-type character in a dark, futuristic setting.
Oh, let me guess, man. It's like that James Cameron Spider-Man movie that's coming out, right?
Well, no, but you're close. It's the long-awaited Bioforge from Origin, featuring you, the player, as a sort of Schwarzenegger-y, Bruce Willis-y kind of guy searching for his identity.
So, okay, it's kind of like a metaphysical thing. I can dig that. I mean, who are we anyway, man?
Well, nice thought, but no, the search is a bit more concrete than that. You don't remember who you are, and half your body's made of metal.
Whoa, I've been to parties that ended up like that. Bummer.
That's it. I am sick of playing straight man. You tell them about the game.
Oh, cool, okay. Well, Bioforge is really awesome, right? You see that guy? Well, that's who you are, man. And you run around, and there's lots of guys to beat up, and it looks really wicked. And then the big robot dude came out, and I tried to beat him up too, but he started shooting these rocket things, right? He flamed my butt back to Christmas, man.
Is that it?
Yeah, I think so. Wicked game, man.
Good, my turn. While Bioforge is a fine example of an action game, its real strength lies in...
Oh, wait, man, I forgot the most gnarly part.
Oh, by all means, do tell.
Well, there's this blue guy, okay? And you beat him up too. But the thing is, he got his arm cut off and the laser bars the jail or something, and you get to beat him up with his own arm, man. It was excellent.
Okay, Kerouac, get away from the microphone. Yes, there's lots of stuff to beat up in Bioforge. In fact, you actually get a blaster a little later on, and you get to shoot at things too.
Yeah? Cool!
But there's also a really great story going on here. To make any progress, you have to put together all the bits and pieces of information that you find lying around in the form of journals and scientific logs. It's true that some of these go on for a really long time.
Man, did you read all of those? I was falling asleep, so I went and beat up another guy. I gave a little speech when I finished too, man. It was so cool.
Well, even though the written material takes quite a while to slog through, the good news is that it will creep you out the door. The writing is so good on this game, and the story is so freaky, that it actually takes a few sharp turns toward Alien-style horror.
And then you run around looking for more people to beat up. And you look really cool when you move, man. It's almost like real. How do they do that? I've never seen a game look like that, man.
Well, we talked about that in detail in our preview back in episode 7, but the short answer is that the Origin team combined some hardware called a flock of birds with...
Oh, I know them, man. They had great hair. And I ran so far away.
You know, you're only about the 6 million and fourth person to make that joke.
Joke?
3, 2, 1.
Just forget it. Anyway, I'm sorry to say that even with the innovative motion system, the characters don't seem to completely mesh with their backgrounds. But this is still beautiful stuff to look at. You can forgive the occasional slip with the kind of freedom of motion you have. Also, the character never really stops moving. When you're not giving direct instructions, he starts shifting his weight immediately. This isn't the first game to do this, but it's always a nice touch. The puzzles go from pretty darn easy to really tricky without a lot of warning, and this is a little frustrating.
But if you ever get frustrated, you can just go find someone to beat up.
Okay, we'll play it your way. We'll talk about beating people up. The combat in Bioforge is really quite complex. Each of the enemies you face has 16 different fighting moves. You, being the hero, have 24. All the moves are based on using the number keypad in combination with the Control and Alt keys. You can even combine moves by holding keys down simultaneously.
Well, yeah, but what about when you're fighting a guy and you hit a key twice because it didn't work the first time, but you really only want to hit the guy once, okay? And you go ahead and you hit the guy twice anyway.
I don't believe it. You actually have a good point. The command buffers should clear a little more often.
Well, yeah, that, and if you just want to hit the guy once, you shouldn't have to hit him twice just because you had to hit the button twice to get it to work.
This is Origin's second self-proclaimed interactive movie after Wing Commander 3, and there's no denying the strong cinematic feel of the game. There's lots of dramatic lighting, and the soundtrack actually responds to your actions. There's even a confrontation with the man who is responsible for your surgery, who is, of course, very talkative and melodramatic.
Oh, it's the bald dude from the beginning of the game. Hey, bald dude.
Also, like the Alone in the Dark games, Bioforge uses the technique of shifting camera angles to create that cinematic mood. Unfortunately, it also has the same problem as those games in that it is very possible to get yourself caught in a corner where you can't see what to do, and there's a bad guy who's kicking the ever-loving dandruff out of you.
Yeah, if you could, change the channel yourself, it'd help.
Change the channel? You mean the camera angle?
Yeah, whatever, man.
A product of Generation X, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give him a big hand. No one is going to confuse Bioforge with Doom, and that's good because the plot is actually more important in Bioforge. But you do have a lot of the same action-oriented things. You run around, look for better weapons and armor,
And you beat people up. It's cool.
Actually, I might as well mention that the number of people you kill actually affects what character you turn out to be at the end, from before you had your memory wiped.
Oh, yeah? I was, killing everybody, man. Who would I turn out to be?
Well, you'd probably be the psycho killer lunatic.
Yeah? Cool.